All right, so welcome, folks, to Devil's Advocate Productions. We talk about movies, music, TV, video games, whatever I want on this channel. And this is a co-stream with This Space, the Politics Leftist Collective channel on YouTube, the real home of progressives. And I am talking to Chris Ahuja. I hope I said that right.
Ahuja.
Ahuja. Okay.
That's all right.
Who is running for Congress in California's 32nd district, which I just looked up here. And it looks like it includes Malibu and a lot of very rich places in California.
Right.
But I think you would
And
be the perfect person to break down exactly what this district is, how you got into the race, and why you decided to run. Which I
yeah,
know you just told me in the pre-interview.
yeah, I know. I had it all planned out and said it everything. Well, so that map actually, it's not. That's an older map. So is that Google Maps that you're pulling up?
Oh, that's Wikipedia. Yeah.
That's Wikipedia. Okay, so maybe if you go to Google Maps, it might show the current one with Proposition 50. So with Proposition 50, that changed it a little bit more so in the valley areas, not so much the Malibu. Um, Palisades, Brentwood, those areas are pretty much the same. But up north, when you get into the valley, they added all of Simi Valley. So Proposition 50 did that.
Oh, see,
And
you're right here.
yeah,
This is the Google map.
so it took out some parts kind of in the West Valley, like West Hills, North Hills, but then they scooped around those areas and gave those to Ventura County. But we have a little bit of Ventura County. So Simi Valley is a big one that is now in the district, and then you have Granada Hills. And anyways, so in terms of sorry, what was your question, Alex?
My question is, how how did you get into this race? What made you?
Yeah,
What was the deciding factor on
yeah,
how you're going to run it and why?
yeah. So um, in let's see, I ran last cycle in 2024.
Okay.
So uh, I was active and still am with different organizations, environment, climate, neighborhood council at the time, Feel the Burn, San Fernando Valley, and so I jumped into the race end of 2023, and the race was 2024, March 5th, 2024. So not a lot of time to uh, do a whole lot, but jumping into that race and then organizing, building infrastructure, grassroots, and basically it's like 6 weeks or 6.5 weeks. We knocked on a lot of doors. We called a lot of people. We texted a lot of people, and so that was the first time. And so we had almost 13,000 votes, which
Wow.
was which was better than expected. And so in terms of 2026 race, you know, after we finished my team, we have field, different volunteers, campaign manager, strategist. It's like, well, let's look at what we did, and do I want to do it again? And it's like, yeah, let's do it again. Let's do it again with more time.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're going against somebody like Brad Sherman, who's been there basically 30 years, and any incumbent, when you're challenging them and you're not part of that establishment, the odds are stacked against you. You're the underdog.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to win. But at the same time, I do like a challenge, and then what I mentioned earlier before we got on is it comes down to people. It comes down to families. It comes down to everyday people who are trying to work their ass off just to pay for basic things: healthcare, food, groceries, utilities, gas. LA, there is public transit, but it's not as reliable and consistent in different parts of the district or the community. And so these are things that I really think can make a difference in our community. I'm just one person. I don't look at it as, oh, my campaign. No, it's a movement. Like you mentioned
Yeah.
earlier, the different things happening uh, throughout the country. You have the mayor in Seattle who was elected.
Yeah.
I forgot her name.
Me
Obviously,
too.
Zohran, who won in New York City. there's a lot of people who are challenging the status quo, and for me, it's really about making a better tomorrow, making a better life for people that have dignity. Nobody should be working 7 days a week and they still don't have enough to pay
Yeah.
for basic things. I have a roof over my head, you know, but it's tough out there for so many people, and people like Brad Sherman, corporate politicians, corporate Democrats, of course, MAGA. Those are fascists.
Yeah.
Those are complete fascists. Those people are, and then they're a joke. Pete Hegseth, all those people,
Yeah.
Cash Patel, Donald Trump. Donald Trump is sleeping in a meeting. But the problem is when you have corporate Democrats, especially people like Brad Sherman. Even I just saw Hakeem Jeffries said they wouldn't try to impeach Pete Hegseth. I think I just saw that a second
My
ago. Don't
gosh.
take my word for it. But this is a
I wouldn't be
problem.
surprised.
Yeah, exactly. They're not fighting for us. They're not fighting for people. And so they should get out of the way, because we do need to do things that will actually make a difference in people's lives. And we don't take APAC, we don't take corporate PAC money. It is grassroots.
That's
And
great.
that's the way we're doing it.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, one of the first ways I heard about you was that APAC tracker account
oh,
that's been doing
cool.
such great work, just
Yeah.
posting public information about where people are getting their money from, and it's
Yeah.
really been a deciding factor, and really actually hurting APAC to the point where they're like, okay, don't take money from us directly. We'll funnel it into shell corporations that you
Yeah.
can then take money from, because we're becoming a toxic brand.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to play for people one of the first videos I saw of you that got me to follow you. You
which
talking
one?
about
Oh.
ICE. And again, just hearing this kind of rhetoric from a candidate running for Congress is just fantastic. So let me just play this for
Thanks, Alex.
people.
ICE is going to keep snatching people. This isn't a one-time occurrence. They're literally testing Los Angeles and seeing how they can get away with anything they do. I'm running for Congress, if you didn't know that. I'm running for Congress in the 32nd District. I'm primarying Brad Sherman, who voted for ICE many years ago. When I'm elected, I will defund and divest from ICE and take back our country from these fascists. If you can make a donation of $27 to our campaign, it goes a long way. We don't take corporate PAC money. And if anybody asks me, no, we don't take APAC money. I'm in this to win it. Let's go.
Hey, I know it's awkward always watching yourself, but
Yeah.
again, that's some hard stances out the gate. This was in June, I believe.
Yeah, that
when
was like,
when ICE was
Yeah, that
really terrorizing Los Angeles.
yeah, and even today, like they took a break. Like I do stuff with DSA LA out here, and there's a lot of good different organizations who are watching out for ICE, and they're out here in the valley today. They're they leave and they terrorize communities, and that video, that's what's crazy, is that was I think June, you said. So that was when that dude who the guy's like 4'5", no offense if people were short, the guy leading ICE, that dude.
Oh yeah, Balvino or something.
Yeah,
I always get
that
him
guy.
confused with Bongino because they have a similar name.
Oh yeah,
but-
right. Yeah, that's right. I was like, why does it sound familiar?
Yeah.
But that was back then, where they were just literally in LA and just creating chaos. Somebody lit that Waymo car on fire. Obviously, you shouldn't
Yeah.
don't light a robot car on fire. But these people were literally just trying to create chaos, trying to do what they do, and then now they keep moving to different states.
Yeah, they're in
And so
Chicago.
with that,
yeah.
When I did that, I was like, I said that I think they're testing. It's a test, and
Yeah.
so they've kind of seen what communities will do when they come together. And I think Chicago was a really good example of them really like getting their community together and pushing back, and seeing Kristi Noem go to that Illinois Police Department to use the restroom, and then she was like denied. That was
Yeah.
amazing. That was incredible. They're like, get the fuck out of here.
Any
And
little acts of resistance. I'm a big fan of, like I say, I talk about movies, TV on my channel. Big fan of Andor, Star Wars Andor. And if you've
Right.
watched that, at the end, there's just, throughout that show, there's just little acts of resistance. Regular people deciding, you know what, I'm not going to let this officer from the empire use this facility without proper clearance, and just taking up a little bit of time may help the larger project.
And by doing that, by just saying, hey, like, for example, even like in Andor, any of those type of TV shows, comic books, these people, like, they're renting cars, they're renting vehicles, wherever they're getting them. Hey, if they don't have the right registration, tow that car, tow it.
Yeah.
You're not breaking the law. There's nothing. First of all, they're doing so many things that are illegal in the state of California. They're breaking so many laws, but it takes, if elected officials that are here who aren't going to do anything, and they're just going to say, well, it's unconstitutional, we don't know what to do. Well, hey, you guys are funding. We're talking about LA City. You're funding the police department. You don't think you could maybe talk to them and say, hey, maybe let's look at the registration. Let's see if these people have the right identification. Why don't you do something?
Yeah.
So if you're not going to do, we're going to do it then.
Yeah. And that's what I really appreciate, again, about, we're talking before we started about this rising, I don't know what to call it, socialism or just leftism across the country. Candidates like you, candidates like Zohran Mamdani, Katie Wilson is the mayor of Seattle, Kat Abugazala in Chicago, Graham Plattner in Maine, this rising tide. And I was watching a video yesterday from Olayemi Olurin, who's a great civil rights lawyer, a defense lawyer, and she makes great video breakdowns. And one of them, your camera. It's all right.
I'm back. Here we go. I'm back. Okay.
Where she was talking about, they were talking about how a lot of people wait until there's a national movement, like Black Lives Matter in 2020. Oh, everyone's coming outside, then I'll come outside because I feel safe, right? And there was even these No Kings protests that are very sanctioned by the Democratic Party. It's okay to come out. It's 2 hours, then you're going home. And people complaining, there's no activities for my kids at this protest. Well, then maybe it's not really a protest. Maybe you shouldn't wait for a national movement. Maybe you should get involved locally. And I think that's really what's happening now, is we're not waiting for a national Occupy Wall Street or a national, movement. People are just going, I don't have time to wait. I'm running now. Zoran's running now. Graham Plattner's running now. And the energy, like you said, you ran last year, that energy doesn't go away. It's not like, oh, I lost. All right, then let me give up and not try anything again.
And I think that's like, because when I ran last cycle, that 2024 was, totally different technically. But even when we would talk to people and knock on doors, I called for a permanent ceasefire, like back in January 2024 or February 2024, whenever it was. And, when I, like, in terms of that, to pivot that conversation, talking to regular people who were like, no, I don't support what's happening in Palestine. I don't support Israel doing that at all. It's inhumane. Those are regular voters that you're talking to. People are saying that in 2024. And, but in terms of, waiting, I think I've seen it. Other candidates may jump in and then that's it. And then they do something else. Hey, teach his own. But for me, it's a movement. It's not really about climbing a ladder. There's other things you can do that are easier and make a decent living. And so, all the people that you mentioned, they're really calling it out. And then when you see the corporate Democrats, the establishment attack them, and which is consistent with what we're talking about. They're not looking out for us. And of course, there are some Democrats that are doing a good job. There's a few.
Sure.
I think there's a few, but we could probably count them. But
maybe two hands. Maybe
on two hands. And so it's interesting. Like, we're on social media, on the different platforms we use. I have people most people are down, but then you have these other people. You're like, wait, what's your angle here? What are you trying to say? But they're corporate Democrats, where they're like, well, why are you talking about another Democrat? You shouldn't do that.
Right.
You should, that's not right. For example, one
Were you
person
trying to help Trump?
Yeah, right, exactly. So you're gonna get some Republican elected here. No, 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 no. That's not what's happening. But like, there was one person. It was like in the summer, and I was talking about ICE, and I used the F word. I happened to say the F word in the video, and I kept it. It made sense. It worked. And my strategist always, we've had the conversation about profanity. And so he's awesome. So I left it in the video, and most people were like, this is great, because I said it's a fucking war zone, like what they're doing. And one person was like, hey, you shouldn't talk that way. The incumbent or some other Democrat, they don't talk that way. And I just thought about it for a second. I was like, okay, so it's okay if ICE is beating up people and kidnapping them. They're wearing masks and throwing them in the vents. That's
fine.
That's okay. That's not necessarily okay, but you're more worried about my language than that, because that's what the video is about. And so I just did another video, and I said, hey, I apologize. I didn't mean to offend you by using the F word. I promise you I won't do that bomb again. And if you find it more offensive than the people being kidnapped and put in a van wearing masks, I'm sorry. And I promise I won't ever fucking do that again.
I think too. I'm sorry.
And then we got blocked. I think they blocked.
I think too a quote from the South Park movie. South Park is one of my favorite shows of all time. Where Sheila says, horrific, deplorable violence is okay so long as no one says any naughty words. And I think that really does come to the respectability politics, or like, we have to be on our toes all the time. And Trump won by saying fuck you guys. Like, I'm on this stage with 17 other Republicans, and I'm saying fuck you, I gave you all money, I'm the guy, vote for me. And he demolished the field. I had to look up the other day who was the favorite at the time, because I forgot. It was Marco Rubio.
Wait, in 2016 or 2020?
2016. It was Marco Rubio, because he had done the response to the Obama State of the Union in 2012, I think. Wow. And he's going to be the new guy, and we have a Latino GOP candidate. And then
right. I remember
Jeb Bush hopped in, so it was like, it's either between
destroyed.
Yeah. The dynasty or the new hotness of Marco Rubio. And Trump just walked in and said, fuck you guys. I'm what you've been preaching since the 80s. I am Reagan personified. I am the trickle-down billionaire, and just demolished them on their own turf. And
he destroyed them. He just completely, like you said, one by one, they were all just knocked out. And then they all had to be like, oh, we love him. Yeah, was it? Oh, and then Ted Cruz too. He was in there, right?
Yeah. Ted Cruz, also another maybe the Tea Party is going to have their own candidate. Nope.
No.
It was Trump.
But what he did, and now it's like people can see. It'll be interesting to see. I forget her name, but is it today, the Tennessee special election?
Yes, Afton Bain. We're going to be covering her race later on this Space Live. I'm very interested to see if she wins. I really hope so.
That's crazy.
Kind of funny that the Republicans only really started talking about it this past weekend. Like Zohran's race, it was the talk of the summer, but Afton in Tennessee, it's like it snuck up on them. Like they didn't think they had to address it. And which again, I think is advantageous for these smaller pockets of leftist candidates getting more traction than they would if it was televised nationally from the beginning. Right. Because then would give more time for corporate Democrats to get another candidate in there, or Republicans to smear them. And I'm very excited to see how that race plays out.
That'll be really interesting to see. I don't know that district, the community, but if she wins,
I think it's Nashville. I think that's the district.
That's a huge.
Because they're going after her with like, oh, she said she hates country music, and
Really?
yeah, and it's like, no, she
God.
didn't.
That's
She was saying,
yeah,
she hates the fact that, you know, she grew up in Nashville. She was like, I don't like the bridal parties who come in and, you know, terrorize.
Yeah.
And my wife actually went to Nashville earlier this year and was
Yeah.
like, it's an amazing city. I love this.
Yeah, I heard.
There's
It's
a
really
whole
cool.
strip of like bars and party
Great
area.
food, right?
But goddamn, these bridal parties come in.
Right. So what, they do a lot of bridal parties and
Oh, apparently it's like a destination for
Really?
like for bachelorette parties. Yeah.
No kidding.
And I
Didn't
guess,
know that.
you know, you know, like I'm in New York. Yes,
Yeah.
the parades, which we saw talked about at the debates, are not my favorite because, oh my God,
Yeah.
it's so crowded and full of people. But, you know, I can,
I watched some of the Macy's parade last week. I'll be honest.
I mean, you know, the Macy's parade, that's one of our staples. But like SantaCon, which I know is coming up, I'm dreading.
I don't know.
Oh, SantaCon is when it's a new one. That's when people just dress as Santa Claus or elves and just bar hop all over the city.
Oh, cool. Oh, that sounds fun.
It sounds fun unless you live here. Then you just
Unless you live.
walking down the street and see Santa puking up and
Oh, that's
elves
hilarious. It's like
and
Bad
whatnot.
Santa.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. You don't want to bring your kids out when SantaCon's
Okay.
happening. You
All right,
don't
so
want
not-
their
not
image
family
of Santa
friendly.
Claus to get polluted. But I just wanted to bring up your campaign website because I think it's a good
Yeah.
indicator of how well a campaign is being run. So your campaign website, as soon as you click into it, is a donation, obviously. Simple look, your face. I kind of like how this is very Zohran-ish, how your graphics team has put it together.
Yeah.
And then just you scroll down a little bit. Here's your mission statement. We're not just running a campaign, we're building a movement to stop Trump, fascism, and the politicians too weak to fight them. Perfect. Love it. And then down here, here's your staples. Abolish ICE. Rent should be a foundation, not a weapon. Healthcare, Medicare for all is good, but also to improve it. And to maybe, you know, well, Medicare for all or single payer. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, some articles down here and the family. And I just want to commend your team and you for deciding on this great layout. And we're going to compare it in a moment to Brad Sherman's campaign site and check out what the competition has.
I think he has a new website. I think that's what I found out.
So let's check out his website. As soon as this is the landing page.
Oh.
And it's just blank. So you have to scroll down.
Are you serious? It's
Yes.
blank? Really? No. Did you hack them, Alex?
No, it's just this. You go to
No
bradsherman.com and it's
That's
just
weird.
this top banner and then blank white.
Let's play devil's advocate, though, Alex. Let's just, you know, let's not, you know, treat seniors in, in a rude way, okay? let's maybe it's the browser. Maybe it's the browser. Alex.
It could be made for mobile. But if you scroll down here, we got first donations. Okay.
That's familiar.
And then stay in the loop. Put in your information. Give me your information, please. And then commitment to service. Meet Brad Sherman. Congressman Brad Sherman was born and raised in Southern California, represents the San Fernando Valley and much of the West Side. In Congress, you said he's been there for like 30 years.
Yeah.
Brad has developed a reputation as a champion for working families and a strong advocate for consumer protections. He is a senior member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee and House Financial Services and was among the leaders behind the formation of the Consumer Financial Protection Agency. All right, that sounds good. It sounds like he cares about consumers. And then that's the end of his landing page.
Oh, that's
no,
it? Okay.
no, like, here's my issues on what I stand for. Just here's what I've done in my time in Congress.
There has to be issues on there, Alex. There's got to be something.
I mean, if you click through, I just go by the landing pages.
Got it. Okay.
I think it's good to as a quick assessment, you know, for casuals who are just like, let me look up this candidate. What's on the landing page? Because who's going to click through, right? Some people will, hopefully.
Yeah.
But you want all that information front and center. just like I did this with Zohran's campaign. Like his website was just all on the first page.
Yeah, his website is pretty cool. Yeah, it's yeah. I have a picture of Zohran on my refrigerator. No, I don't. I'm kidding.
I went to the rally with him and AOC.
Oh, yeah?
and Bernie. It was awesome. Great energy. Like I knew then he was going to win, but you know, as leftists, we got to always cross our fingers and knock wood. But I just wanted to point out.
Sorry, my dog's got a fork in his mouth.
Oh, get that out of it.
The plastic fork. I'm listening.
I love this walk and talk interview. It's fantastic.
Okay.
But Brad Sherman.
I got it.
Good. We do not want them chewing on forks.
All right.
But Brad Sherman, the only time I've ever heard of him was very recently when he was on a plane and apparently was looking at porn. And this was kind of captured by another passenger. And yeah, he said this was Elon's fault. That it was Elon's fault that he was looking at dirty pictures on a plane.
Crazy.
And I just wanted to get your reaction to that because I'm sure this being, you know, kind of, again, this is the first time I've heard of this guy.
From that, that's the first time you heard.
That's the first time I've heard Brad Sherman's name.
That's crazy. I mean, you know, I saw that was like 2 weeks ago, and I forget, maybe somebody put in a signal group, and I was like, wait, is that real? And then thought it was fake to be honest. That was like AI or something. But it was on. I think it was on Dear White Staffers Twitter. I think they're the ones who released it, and it was crazy because. You know what was really crazy is that I don't think he really acknowledged that was not an appropriate thing to do.
Yeah.
You know.
And again, on a plane.
On a public flight. I mean, what do you? Why do you think that's acceptable to do that? And I think it speaks to a much larger issue of a establishment politician who's been there for 30 years who thinks that somehow is okay to do. And it doesn't matter who's sitting around you. It doesn't matter if it's in public. And what someone does in their home, I mean, if it's private.
Yeah, we don't kink shame here.
But yeah, go ahead and do that. But
it's just wild to do that on a plane at all.
It's so gross. It's so inappropriate. And you're representing a district. You claim seniority in Congress. That's this whole thing. It always goes back to seniority in Congress. So what does that mean? What does that mean if you've been doing those things and you don't think, I mean, maybe somebody told on him on the plane. I mean, we've talked to a lot of different people. We've interviewed a lot of people about what their thoughts are on that. And, yeah, it's
yeah, speaking of which, let's take a look at that interview. This is your campaign talking to people about what they think of this story. And again, great campaigning. Seize on a moment.
Thanks, Alex.
Because again, this is the first time I've heard of Brad Sherman. And if I'm looking up what happened to this guy, is this ongoing story? And I want to see this video pop up.
Would you say yes? What would you feel about him in that situation?
Well, of course not. I mean, it's not specific to him. Anyone doing something like that on a plane or in private is, I don't think, very suitable to be looking after younger children or maybe women at all to begin with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely wouldn't be comfortable with a situation like that.
And at age 70, do you feel like his OnlyFans era should be over?
Oh yeah, his OnlyFans era should have maybe even started to begin with. It's probably not very good for his congressman look, I'd say, but yeah, he should probably scratch that one off the bucket list.
And on a scale from normal person to full gooner, where do you feel like this ranks?
Yeah, I'd have to say it's probably more in the gooner.
Would you say?
I mean, I think that's fantastic.
You know, it's crazy. Like the White House, my friend, that night when it was going viral, I don't know what it was the last time I checked, but it was like 15 million. The White House then reposted those photos from his own website, from Brad Sherman's Twitter. and they reposted it and called him a gooner, and thought that was pretty hilarious. But the thing is, it's like it's really funny, and but it just shows that this type of person, Brad Sherman, who's been there for so long, that he doesn't think it's he doesn't seem to see any problem with it, and maybe he does, maybe he does, but I don't think I've read that. And so if you're talking about women, you're talking about families, you're talking about people on a public flight, and accountability, everything goes back to accountability. You are accountable for, I don't know if my neighbors are supporters, but if you're if you don't think you're accountable for what you've been doing in 30 years, which is basically nothing, and then you do something like that on a public flight, and you still don't think there's something wrong with that, nobody's above the law. Donald Trump is not above the law. Pete Hegseth is not above the law. Kash Patel, he's not above the law. Brad Sherman is not above the law. None of these people are above the law. And Democrat, Republican, whatever, it doesn't matter. And you can talk about the Epstein list. It doesn't matter. Whoever's there, whoever did any crimes, they should be held accountable. Accountability is the same thing, which in terms of Brad Sherman, he said about for the Epstein files, would it hurt foreign policy by releasing them?
Well, he is on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. He would know because he's so senior, isn't he? It's a ridiculous question. It's a ridiculous if society will collapse because of the release of these files, because so many important people were fucking pedophiles, then society should maybe collapse if it's built on the backs of these monsters.
Seriously, they're evil people. They should all be put in prison for life. Whatever the penalties are, they should be held accountable.
And I love that the response a lot of times from the right wing is always like, well, what if Bill Clinton's on there? Gotcha. It's like, so what? Throw him in there too. Throw him and Trump in the cell together. They'd love it.
They're friends. Yeah. Sorry. Maybe I shouldn't say that. They're like laughing together.
I mean, we've seen pictures.
Did they go to the same wedding? The weddings together?
Yes, they were at Chelsea's wedding, I believe. Trump and Epstein, or no, Ghislaine.
Oh, wow.
Ghislaine was there.
Oh wow, there you go.
Which again, what is she doing at Chelsea's wedding?
Oh, I mean, if they're somebody they go, why did you talk about Clinton? I'm like, I did.
Yeah,
I did.
I got my.
They're like,
well,
what about
here.
Biden? What about this? Everyone keeps bringing up Biden. Okay, like.
All right, if he's on there, throw him in there too. I don't care.
It doesn't matter. Like they're like Democrat. I'm like, whoever is on there, they should go to jail.
Yeah, it's like you're saying. It's about accountability. It reminds me of when Obama got elected. And people were talking about, all right, war crime charges for Cheney and Bush and Rumsfeld. And he was like, let's turn the page, folks. Let's turn the page. Let's not think about it. And then Biden got elected in 2020. Are we going to prosecute Trump for any of these crimes that he's clearly done? What about the impeachments? Let's turn the page. The temperature will go down. And that just explains exactly what corporate Democrats have been doing for 30 plus years, is just kind of try to mitigate a little bit of the racism and the damage that the Republicans do while they're in office, and then don't fix anything while they're in office so they can keep making money from the big donors.
Yep. That's true. I mean, we can see maybe I shouldn't say it's true, but the truth is, the MAGA regime, they've implemented radical change for their billionaire friends in such a short period of time. This second term for Trump, where you have people, Chuck Schumer, whoever these people are, they're just like, yeah, what you're saying, like, let's just bring down the temperature.
The fever will break.
Maybe we can get some incremental change. No. We're not doing that. We want radical change. There is no reason why we can't have actual, real radical change that is positive, not radical change for billionaires so they can keep getting. No one's talking about Doge. Doge is gone. They did what they did.
Yeah.
They scammed. They stole. They ripped off everybody, and corporate media is not talking about it. I don't really watch local news too often, but I'm pretty sure they're not talking about that.
The only thing I've seen mentioned about Doge is that it's being dissolved, and people are like, "Oh, ha ha ha! Your government agency of efficiency is being nixed because it's inefficient and blah blah blah." And it's like, well, they already did it. Like they already did what they wanted to do. They don't even need it anymore. Elon's got all the data he wants. Grok is running through government systems, just data mining, and it's not a win.
They didn't say it was all just a grift, and then you have these people who are, oh, Doge is gonna do this, and where are you people? The people who kept saying that, where are you? Like, did it help you? Did Doge help you? It just
do you see more money in your pocket?
No, there's no money in their pocket, and then they it's just they're teams. I'm on that team. I'm on this team, but they don't realize that's part of the scam. Don't get caught up in that. Don't get caught up in that. It's a class war. That's what it is. It's a class war. It's not a cultural thing. Don't get caught up in that nonsense. Everybody needs the same things. Everybody needs healthcare. Everybody needs a roof over their head. Everyone needs food. Everyone should be able to work a certain hours and not. Sorry, getting all these text messages.
That's all right.
But that's what it's about. And so I think, depending on kind of these different elections that are happening, we'll start to see like, hey, or the Grand Platinum, the Tennessee race today. There's a lot of, I think, things happening. I think we're in the middle of something that we keep building the movement. We don't want corporate Democrats to stop a real movement, and we have to call these people back to accountability. Calling them out, like the No Kings thing. We talked about that earlier. Like, I remember I was there. The last one was smaller over here than the previous one in the summer. And I was passing down some flyers, and someone was like, "Oh no, we don't need those." And I was like, "Oh, are you a fan of Brad?"
Yeah.
There's not a lot of fans of Brad Sherman. This is the truth. There's not a lot of people who like him. Everyone has a story. Every single person has a story.
Oh yeah, okay.
But my point is that, like, oh, you should just go after Trump or this or that. You shouldn't be talking about another Democrat. And the majority of people, though, don't support that. That's just a small percentage. The majority of people are like, hey, I'm done with these corporate Democrats who sold us out, who are not fighting for us. And so I think having those conversations with people about what they're going through, what they're dealing with, and really listening to them. A lot of people, they don't like being lied to. And now it's like so many people are struggling, so many people are hurting, that it's so personal to them. Whether you were laid off with Doge, all of the federal workers were laid off, especially in those cities that are closer, whether it's Maryland, CDC, all these different places. But people just, this is what people are struggling with. And the No Kings protest, I think that it was a really cool idea, but it has to be sustained every day. It maybe can't be that large every day, but it can't just be every 5 months. That Trump doesn't care about that. He's like, oh, cool, I'm gonna call myself a king, and then he does like really, really shitty AI, and then it's like, I'm a king, and it's like,
it's just fodder for him. Now, the No Kings protest, when that was happening, my take was, if it gets people out of the house and like to a rally, fine, whatever. So long as there's Working Families Party or DSA or candidates like you out there in the mix going, hey, this is all great, right? But like, vote for me and like pay attention to like these policies, and let's like cleave off some of the Sunday, what do you call it, weekend warriors who were there just to just to have fun at a protest and socialize. Get them activated. These are opportunities to get people activated. And I think like Zohran's campaign and him winning the mayorship is a testament to what you were talking about with the class war, and how you don't have to pull an Ezra Klein and throw marginalized communities under the bus. You can talk about affordability while also saying, yes, we're going to protect our trans brothers and sisters and our NB brother, siblings, and we're going to protect our immigrant communities, our black communities, and it's not an either or when it comes to that.
No, it's not either or. And that same goes with abundance. It's not like you can't have abundance if you have a fascist regime kidnapping people. And you can talk about building and changing the zoning. I agree with certain things, of course. Sure. But you can't do all those things if you're not holding those other people accountable. If you're not even talking about Trump, you're not talking about the budgets for ICE and all these things, not talking about Doge, just ignoring all these things, and you're just going to talk about building. That's great, fantastic, but people are being kidnapped and beaten up over here, and by not talking about that, I'm not down with that. That's you can't just talk about building when people are being fucking beat up and snatched, and their families are taken where they don't even know, and you're talking about building. Fuck off.
And this isn't like a they call it identity politics or like this. It's a identity politics issue. The people getting kidnapped. It's like, no, this is happening.
Is that what they say?
I mean, it sounds like it because that's what in the first Trump administration. I remember the kids in cages. Oh, we got to save these kids in cages. And then what happened? COVID happened. We stopped talking about that. Biden got elected. Completely stopped talking about immigration at all.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, are these kids out of the cages? Did you get them out? Like, what's going on with those kids in cages that seem like such an important issue? But again, I was watching this Olay video yesterday, and she was talking about how for a lot of white people, it seems that some of these issues are more just trends. It's trendy right now to go out in 2020 and talk about Black Lives Matter, really because you just wanted to get out of the house. You wanted a moral way to get out of the house, because before those protests in 2020, it was the right wing going out protesting that we want haircuts, we want restaurants, we want these things open, and y'all were making fun of them until you had your ability, because you wanted to get out of the house, and I get it, right? Fine, but the police, the police funding only went up, and nobody's still like, hey, what about that mass movement we had? Can we do something about that? Those issues still didn't go away. Police are still killing people every single day.
There was something like yesterday. There was something I saw this morning. I think it was New York City. It was a dude going to work, and they're like, "You're taking a." And then he said, like, some white Karen lady called up, and he's like, "I'm literally going to my job."
Yeah.
And they're like, "You're taking 2 seats," and he's like, "I'm not." And there's a camera, you can see.
Crazy.
First of all, that's not acceptable, and second, he's not taking 2 seats.
Yeah. The crazy the Karen videos are insane. There was one in Miami recently where a woman was trying to block a car from getting out of a parking lot because she's like, I don't believe that you live here or whatever. And you hear the woman tell her husband, don't get out of the car, because what's going to happen? She's going to pretend that she was hurt. She's waiting for the cops to show up. The cops are going to sympathize with her because she's a white woman. Yeah. And what ended up happening was a guy in the car behind them, who was a white guy, just got out and got in her face and was like, move your fucking car. I don't even care what's happening here. Just get out of my way. And she backed down and moved because there's no way for me to weaponize my whiteness against this white man because he is higher in the hierarchy than me.
That is so. I remember a few years back. My dad's from India. My mom is, add effects using hand gestures. But my mom is basically, she's white, right? Italian, German, everything. And so sometimes people don't know what my ethnicity is. And there was it was a candidate here in LA, and these Karens were just beating him up.
Oh my gosh.
Just destroy him. And they weren't even attacking him on anything except for the way he made it, like with a face with his like lips. It's something stupid. But he was the only one actually qualified. He won. He got more votes than everybody. He won. He's incredible what he does. And I realized, I was like, I was like, I need to say something. One of my friends was like, you need to say something. I'm like, I'm just gonna wait. And then I just kind of called out these Karens in a very kind of polite way. And other people were trying to do it as well, but they were not white.
Yeah.
And they were just getting like bulldozed by these Karens. So then I said some stuff, and that was like my first time where I realized, like, oh, I kind of get a pass here.
Yeah.
They didn't say anything back to me. I thought they were gonna be like, say something rude, but they didn't say anything. I was like, oh, all right, I get it. I look like, maybe what you guys think I am or whatever it is. And yeah, you learn how people, like, for example, like we'll do some like ice stuff in the mornings, right?
Yeah.
And I kind of have a short hair, and I put in my hat, and I'm walking with my dog through Home Depot, like parking lot, and there was like an Ice Scout. Pretty sure it was an Ice Scout, and this dude had like a Coast Guard hat on. How many people wear Coast Guard hats,
Yeah.
And I'm walking with my dog, and he kind of looks like he's like maybe being trained, like trained police dog. He's like sniffing and like looking around, and the guy just looked at me. He's like, "Oh, hey, what's the dog's name?" And I'm like, "Apollo." He said, "Okay." And he kind of looked at me. I looked at him like, "Who's this guy?" Like,
Yeah.
I don't go around fighting people, by the way, but I do a lot of jujitsu, and it's a big passion of mine. But if need to be, I'd probably choke him out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then I let go, because this parking lot, you don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, so but like it was like this weird vibe where he's like looking at me like, like, who are you? And like,
Yeah. Are you
'cause they
supposed
don't
to be
know. I
here?
might
Are you
be
on
like-
my side?
Yeah, he doesn't know. Like I might be like, watching the Watchers, like
Yeah.
whatever, like in the vibe. But it was just interesting how people treat you based on how you look, how you dress. I mean, these are like psychological behaviors and things. But yeah, it's just interesting. Yeah, you can kind of you have to use your power for good.
Yes. Yes. A friend of mine who's also on this space, Dieter, says the right messenger for the right kind of audience. I'm half black, half white, half Christian, half Jewish.
Okay.
I can talk about Israel, and I feel comfortable in saying fuck Israel, like they're committing a genocide.
Yeah.
The last 2 years, every
You
night at
shouldn't say that,
Hanukkah.
Alex. That's Santa.
I know. I'm a self-hating Jew. But every year at Hanukkah, every night I will post like happy whatever night of Hanukkah, fuck Israel, the committed genocide, free Palestine. And it is because I am Jewish. Like I know I'm Jewish. There's no one who can take that away from me. Ben Shapiro cannot declare that I'm not Jewish. And I'm also black, and I can talk about black issues and using and again, really, I'm a nerd, so I talk about movies, TV, video games, and music. And my goal with this channel is to really combat that right-wing pipeline of like Geeks and Game. I don't know if you know any of these channels, but Geeks and Gamers, Nerdrotic, Fandom Menace, people who make a living talking about, oh, there's a black woman in this Marvel show, so it's woke and you shouldn't watch it, or they tried it with Andor, but Andor was too good for them to really. Their audience was like, you're wrong, and so that's where I'm at in my channel's progression.
That's awesome. That's really cool. I love that stuff. I don't really go to those channels, but I love stuff like that. I mean,
because like
grew up watching movies.
I want someone who's like looking for a movie review on Frankenstein to find my review, click it, and then in the review I'm talking about how maybe it relates to politics or a reaction to like Nas an album and talking about what he's saying in the songs and break it down and how that relates to what's going on today, because I want to get in that algorithm. That's the game that we're playing. We're all playing the algorithm game and trying to get our messages out there. And I see the Gavin Newsom playing that game himself. I don't know your feelings on the guy. I know he's being talked about as a contender for 2028. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. If he's the nominee, I'll vote for him, but he is not my preferred candidate. However, something
Yeah.
he did that I really enjoy, I thought was a good move, is this Prop 50. And today, Pam Bondi saying
she
that
do?
they're going to sue over civil rights.
Today?
Yeah.
Working around the clock to make America safe again, which was your directive, our Civil Rights Division. Suing Gavin Newsom 3 times now, Prop 50, keeping boys out of girls' sports, and in-state tuition for illegal aliens. We've sued over election integrity. We are litigating major universities with Linda. Thank you, our Civil Rights Division, for everything that you've done to end DEI in our schools.
Oh, fuck. Is this today?
Yeah, this is today. So first reaction, Chris.
Well, my first reaction is I need to make more videos talking about how amazing Pam Bondi is at doing her job.
But
We got a lot to work with there. So she just brought up DEI. Did she say something about trans kids?
yeah, she said trans people in sports.
Yeah. So, you know,
Because the Prop 50, if I'm not mistaken, was the redistricting
yeah.
amendment, right?
So Proposition 50, yeah, it passed. It overwhelmingly passed. People like Arnold Schwarzenegger were trying to get Californians not to vote to support Proposition 50, which it was like 66%. I mean, it overwhelmingly won. Like California is a large area. It is a very diverse group of people. It is massive, and so that was good that they did Proposition 50 because nobody else was doing anything. There's no other Democrats who were doing. Sorry, my dog's like eating up all sorts of random shit.
It's okay.
He's finding stuff I didn't even know existed in my backyard. But no, it was good he did that because nobody else was doing anything. All the Democrats were just they're weak. They weren't doing anything at all. And so the fact that he, him and his teams put that in place, and people still have to vote on it. It didn't just happen. People didn't have to vote for it if they didn't want to vote for it, and it changed our district, certain parts of our district, which is great. It's fine. In terms of what he's doing on social media, the truth is we've been doing that for 13, 14 months. So I don't know if he was copying us, but we because people were, the thing is like, it's early on, people were like, oh, you shouldn't be saying those things. That's not appropriate. And then, Gavin starts doing it and people are like, yeah.
Oh, it's great.
And then people are like, hey. And then I had people going, you're a Timu version of Gavin.
Well, you say,
but
I see it a little bit, but I would say he's more the Timu version of you, because if I had the choice, it would be you as the front runner for the nomination 2028. Because again, I think, look, you're white passing. You can speak to that. I mean, you can speak to that masculinity crisis that's happening. That I think Graham Plattner is doing a great job of that as well.
He is,
and just being like, it is manly to stick up for people weaker than you, like in a weaker position than you.
Yeah,
that's what masculinity is.
Right, like the whole point in terms of like, there's nothing wrong with standing up for people, and the fact that some of these politicians, if we go back to Brad Sherman, I think people were asking him at one of the town halls about trans rights, and I don't know if he really gave us a clear answer to the people in the audience. Why can't you just say you support trans rights? Why is this a hard thing to do?
And here's what we're going to do to ensure that these people are safe.
Yeah, it's about safety. It's the same thing that happened to all marginalized communities throughout civilization. Whether it's civil rights, my step-grandfather was black, was African American, and my grandmother's white, and they were married so long ago. They were traveling in Montana, so, and I'm sure they got all sorts of messages and things to their face about, having an interracial marriage. And so I have always been that way where, you got to speak up. And I, sometimes I try not to do it too much, depending on, if I don't want to upset, my family if I'm calling somebody out. But the truth is, you have to speak up. And at least Gavin was doing that when nobody else was doing that. So, in terms of policies and issues,
Yeah.
yeah, we might differ on some of those things, but in terms of him pushing back and doing that, that was the right thing to do. 100
Him
percent the
speaking
right
out,
thing to
him,
do.
mocking the way Trump talks and whatever,
Yeah,
and going viral,
yeah,
like, sure, that's all well and good, and like, fine, make fun of him. But when he did the Proposition 50, that's when I was like, okay, you're actually doing something tangible. It's not
yeah.
just
It's
rhetoric.
tangible.
Yeah, it's not just rhetoric. It's not just, oh, we're gonna meme on Trump and like this is Resistance 2.0. You're
Right.
actually doing something. Like Pritzker
actually
in
do
Chicago
something.
saying, hey, we're going to prosecute these ICE agents.
Yeah.
You're not going to get
Yeah.
away with this.
Yeah, that was awesome. What Pritzker is doing, not afraid, and I would like to see more of that locally here
Yeah.
in our city. More assertive, more aggressive. Aggressive doesn't mean physical altercations. That's not what it means. And there are so many. We had on socials. I had people emailing the Attorney General here, based on I think it was the sanctuary law here in California, where these laws are being violated. But yeah, action's important. In terms of what Pam Bondi, those people will do whatever they can to distract from the Epstein files. They'll do everything to distract from the economy. They'll do everything to distract from Trump's approval rating. It is just theater what they're doing. Pam Bondi, she should go back to wherever she's from.
Made me laugh when she
find
brought
something
up
else to do.
our great Civil Rights Division, Linda McMahon, the wife
said
of
that?
Vince McMahon. Yeah, and it just
said that?
reiterates like I'm a native New Yorker. I remember Trump being in Home Alone 2, one of
Yeah.
my favorite Christmas movies, and just
Great movie. Great movie.
knowing he's a caricature of a rich guy. Why is anyone taking him seriously? And now his administration is filled with like Pete Hegseth from Fox News, Sean Duffy from Road Rules,
Oh, yeah.
Linda McMahon from wrestling. Like this is a kayfabe administration.
They in the McMahons like that, they're destroying the Department of Education.
Absolutely
They're
demolished.
they're literally gutting and stealing, and these people they are people. I'm idealistic also, so I feel like if you're doing these jobs representing people, you should be doing it. I know it's naive, but you should be doing it to better people's lives. You shouldn't be doing it to steal. You should not be doing it for retribution. You should be doing it to change people's lives, because that's
what
that's
public
what government
service
is supposed to.
means.
It's public service. It's what public service means, right?
Government
So-
of the people, by the people, for the people.
Right. I mean, this is for the people, by the people. And so that's why maybe this time around, with different candidates who are grassroots, who really are using this moment to go, hey, let's change public infrastructure. Let's add real transit. Here, for example, in the 32nd district, we have the Sepulveda Transit Corridor project, which has been around for a long time, but Brad Sherman was actually really trying to oppose it being built with actual heavy rail, because it affected some billionaires, like the former CEO of Ticketmaster, who lives in Bel Air. So they're having all these
Ticketmaster,
studies
a
and
very consumer friendly
Oh,
company for the consumer protection candidate.
Boom. Well
Crazy.
said, exactly. That's and so heavy rail in the San Fernando Valley and the west side, it would change the whole dynamics of people sitting in traffic on the 405 and the 101, which is a main part of Los Angeles. And you're only listening to a billionaire. You're not listening to the people. And the ironic thing was, when I was talking to people, especially last cycle, knocking on doors, talking about Sepulveda Transit, nobody even knew about it except for like 2 people. And they don't want people to know about these things, because they're like, oh, I would use that. You can't keep saying, oh, crime on the bus, crime on the trains. Stop with the fucking propaganda. Of course, every so often there might be some weirdo.
Yeah, I mean, I know California gave a big subsidy to Elon Musk for his boring company to create a tunnel to Las Vegas, I think, instead of investing in the public transit.
Yeah, because they're gonna profit off of it. They're
Right.
they're gonna just make more money for themselves, but they don't really care. Like,
And
actually,
one of the
like,
only
making
things
real
I know
transit.
about like California, Los Angeles, I've never had the pleasure of visiting, is the traffic. That's the thing I've heard my entire life is the traffic is a nightmare. And here you are going, hey, it doesn't have to be. We can have public transit here.
It doesn't have to be. We can literally, from Ventura Boulevard, which it goes through a huge part of the San Fernando Valley near Universal City, all the way to like, where does it end? Like past Woodland Hills. You could have, like San Francisco, you could have like a BART. You could, or Muni, you could have it go along Ventura Boulevard. You could have that. We have buses, but the bus system it doesn't connect to all the areas where you need to go. And then they have I won't go into the whole thing, but yeah, we could do these things. It goes back to values and priorities. You have money for war, you have money for this, but why don't we have money for infrastructure that is desperately needed? Whether it's public transit, go back to healthcare, it goes back to priorities and values. And of course, where these elected officials are taking their contributions from. Like you're not looking out for people. Like why are you there? And it's like, well, these people are there to be cynical is because it's to enrich themselves.
Yeah.
They're not trying to help people.
It's for a career.
We can count 6 people that are actually really doing. I mean, I think Bernie Sanders is like, he's one of the real people who's been doing the same thing and really speaking the truth about this he's Bernie. Bernie's been doing this for a while, and I think we can continue that. I mean, he's like 85 years old.
Yeah,
he's got more
we got
energy
a new
than
guard.
most people.
We need a new guard. We're almost out of time here, but I wanted to just ask you again. We're all trying to play the algorithm game, and I need to ask you a question that will fit into the algorithm of my channel. So, what has been your favorite movie, TV show of the year?
Of the year? Oh shit. Okay.
It could be multiple.
Okay. For the year. For the year. Okay.
Or anything that you've just seen recently. It doesn't need to have come out. Like I just finished watching Succession for the first time.
Oh, okay.
And I got to really understand the mindset of some of these wealthy people.
Dude. Yeah. I think of a show. I was watching damn, I forgot the name. My wife watches a lot of different shows. Oh shit! Hold on. There was a. I was just watching. I was with Claire Danes and. I think it's Netflix. I think it was 8 episodes. Shit! Help me out here.
Claire Danes. Let me see. Homeland.
No, not Homeland. I liked Homeland. I watched every episode. Sal Berenson, amazing.
American
And by the way,
Revolution?
No, it's on. Shit.
The Beast in Me.
The Beast in Me. I think it's The Beast in Me. That is a great show. That is a great show. Highly recommend that. Great acting, great writing. I just finished watching that. And in terms of, let's see here. There's a good show with Jake Gyllenhaal, and there's Apple TV. It's a remake of the Harrison Ford movie. What is it?
I'm looking it up right now. Is it
I should type my dog.
Presumed Innocent? Roadhouse?
Yeah, that
Presumed
Innocent. No, not Roadhouse. I didn't finish that.
Okay. What is Presumed Innocent about?
It's based on I think the movie, or is it the Jodie Foster movie? I forget. That's what it's based on. But very good show. Great show. Really, really good. And there's another one I watched. It's with John Hamm on Apple TV. With Olivia Munn, John Hamm. Very good show.
Apple
Great
TV
show.
really, like, I don't have it, but I you really feel the money that Apple has, because you're like, oh, this Steven Spielberg produced John Hamm show that no one's heard of. What is it? Landman? Is that it?
Landman? Wait, who's in that?
That's John Hamm.
Oh, that's a different one then. I think
The Morning Show.
I don't watch. That's a
Apple
good
TV.
show, but the John Hamm with Olivia Munn, that show, broke something people.
Let me see, Olivia Munn.
Great
I
show.
was just thinking about Olivia Munn the other day. I was like, where'd she go? She was all over the place for a while.
I think she was sick or something. But
Your Friends and Neighbors.
yeah,
I think
that's a
what
great
it's
show.
called. Yeah.
Great show. Highly recommend that show. Um,
Hedge fund
sorry, my throat's
manager
dry.
resorts to burglary after losing his job, targeting wealthy neighbors to maintain his family's lifestyle. Makes a fateful error. Okay, interesting.
That's a really good show. I like to always watch older movies, like 90s movies, 80s movies. Excuse me. I love like I like my kids are like watching old episodes of Full House.
That's awesome.
They like went through like every season. But no, I love 80s movies, to be honest with you. I love like
Yeah.
80s, 90s movies, especially. Um, I was just rewatching. Like I have friends who are in the business, and so one of my friends sent me some quote from Heat or something. I was like, I need to watch Heat again. So I was watching Heat like last week.
Nice. Nice.
Uh,
Heat's one that's on my list that I haven't actually sat down to watch.
You have not seen Heat?
I have not seen Heat, so it's
I
on
don't
my
know.
list.
We probably should have had this video interview.
I'll get right on it. I'll get right on it.
But you've seen Fight Club, right?
Yes, I've seen Fight Club.
Okay. I was gonna say. Fight Club. You know, we had this thing because I have
Another good
Italian
movie about
family.
toxic masculinity.
Yeah, exactly. We had this this fake rule, but because we represent actors, right? And so a long time ago, when we first started, we would send auditions out, and we send out like for example, we sent out some auditions for The Social Network, the movie, and one guy was like, young guy. He's like, oh, I can't make the audition. We're like, what are you talking about? This is Social Network. This is
Could be
This
big.
is awesome. This is David Fincher.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I'm working on something. We're like, well, what are you working on? This is David Fincher.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I got to be on set for something. We're like, well, that's background. You're doing background work. Yeah, it's cool. You got to make money, fine, but you need to make the audition. Like there's.
Yeah.
And I said, David Fincher, and he goes, yeah, David Fincher. And I was like, I just started saying names of different movies. And they're like, yeah. And I said, Fight Club. Like, I mean, he did Fight Club. And they're like, yeah, Fight Club. And I was like, wait a minute. Have you seen Fight Club? And they're like, oh, you did something. I was like, no, that's not Fight Club. And I was like, well, hold on here. I said, wait. If you haven't seen Fight Club, you need to watch it immediately. And so we had this kind of rule that if we're going to sign somebody, and they haven't seen Fight Club, we can't work with them. And I think we sent that message. I think it got to Fincher, and I think he thought it was hilarious. Like,
That's really
this
funny.
talent agency, like, we don't care if you make money, but if you haven't seen Fight Club, we can't work with you.
Well, Fight Club is a great movie, and it is really an interesting. Again, people, the right wing, they take it, they make it their own, and they go, well, yeah, you should idolize Brad Pitt's character in that movie, where the whole movie, the text of the movie is saying he's wrong. He's the angry id of this character.
Right.
It's not, he should be more like Brad Pitt. The lesson of the movie is, no, he was fine as he was. He just needed to, like, live a little.
He needs to, like, go back to Edward Norton's character.
Yeah.
Who, Edward Norton, amazing actor, Brad Pitt, amazing. But yeah, go back to Edward Norton's character and like kind of watch that part again. You missed the point of.
Yeah, you missed the.
You honestly, you could just watch the last like 15 minutes of the movie, and then you go, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's the theme. And I think we can end it there. Thank you so much, Chris, for coming on and doing this interview. I will post this. I will tag you. And
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I really we're rooting for you. And by the way, when is this election?
The election is June 2nd, 2026. And so for our campaign to keep pushing forward, whatever someone can donate, whether it's $5, $27, that's the Bernie number. It's all about solidarity. It's all about getting the word out. It doesn't matter if someone's in a different state. It's about the movement. It's not just about me. It's not about me.
Yeah.
Not about me. It's about the movement. It's about what we need to do for our country, do for our communities. Get back to what you talked about people. And so June 2nd, 2026, chrisahuja.com. And I make myself accessible. And most people are pretty cool online. Someone, kind of made a message about my dog. But,
Don't come after the dog.
We got John Wick, a great movie.
Another one. Another one about real masculinity. Oh.
There's Apollo. He's running around. I rescued Apollo in September, and we we do what we do. We get things done, and it's really good to connect with you, Alex. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, great to meet you. And if I'm able to visit New York next year, I'll shoot you a message.
Absolutely. Two racially ambiguous dudes hanging out, talking about progressive politics.
Pretty much.
I hope we can send you to Congress and you can join the squad and help out.
Yeah.
And thank you again so much.
Hey, you too, bro. Really appreciate the opportunity. This is awesome. This is this kind of stuff is really cool. I love this type of interview. It's not always about like MSNBC and all that stuff. It's about people and about creative people. You're a creative person.
But hey, if you ever get on MSNBC or CNN, make sure to mention this space.
Oh, I will. This is the logo. I love your
Hell yeah.
logo, Alex.
Thank you very much.
All right, I'll let you go. Is that your cat behind you?
No, that's Rooney. That's a little Shih Tzu.
Oh,
Ruined.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, you have a great rest of your day, Alex.
You too.
Stay in touch. Appreciate it. And we keep fighting. Solidarity.
Absolutely. Keep fighting.
Let's go.